Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story this hour. The Russia-Ukraine war will mark its one-year anniversary tomorrow. And the only visible direction in the conflict that has impacted the world is more aggression and divides. President Biden visited Kiev and assured continuous Western support for Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin vowed victory. Experts say that Russia and Ukraine are preparing for offensives that could potentially turn the war even more ugly. In recent weeks, Russia has intensified its push to fully capture Ukraine's eastern region of Donbass. And to counter this, the Ukrainian armed forces are now waiting for battle tanks and other weapons pledged by the West.
What we're already, seeing here is that the Russians are digging in for the long haul. They have no intention of losing, depending on what their definition of, winning is at this particular stage. And Ukraine cannot afford to have Russia basically annex its territory.
Meanwhile, Putin has declared that Russia will continue to pay attention to increase its nuclear forces. He also added that they will begin mass deliveries of Zircon sea-launched hypersonic missiles.
We will continue to inundate our forces with advanced technology. There are new strike systems, intelligence gathering and communications equipment, drones and artillery systems. Our industry is now rapidly boosting production of all types of conventional weapons.
The UN General Assembly has convened an emergency session on Wednesday in an effort to adopt a resolution urging Russia to halt its offensive in Ukraine. The high-level meeting comes before the first anniversary of the Russian invasion of its neighboring country. Speaking at the session, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres stressed that the war is having a dramatic humanitarian and human rights consequences that extend beyond Ukraine's borders. The UNGA is set to adopt a resolution stressing the need to reach as soon as possible a comprehensive, just and lasting peace in line with the founding UN Charter. And Ukraine has reached out to India for support ahead of the vote on Ukraine peace resolution. And now joining us live from Mykolaiv is our correspondent Nas Malik. Hello to you, Nas. Thanks for being with us. Now, the Russia-Ukraine war marks its one-year anniversary tomorrow. What are the latest details that you have for us from the ground?
You rightly mentioned, Alison, the Russian aggression on Ukraine marks 1 year tomorrow in less than 24 hours from now. And the Ukrainian side has been warning people for intensified attacks, what it believes would be from Russia. And we've been seeing that in the past 72 hours, there has been shelling that has been done in parts of Kherson, which the Ukrainian emergency services says was done from the Russian side. More and more civilian infrastructure has been hit. I'm standing in a strategically important city of Mykolaiv. This city had seen a tank battle in the early days of the war, and that lasted for about 6 to 7 weeks. The Russian side did try to advance on here, because in case if they would have taken the city of Mykolaiv, then it would have given them access to the Black Sea and to the Odessa port. The Odessa port is about 2.5 hours from where I'm standing. This city, it has 3 shipbuilding yards as well. And I'm currently I'm standing outside the Mykolaiv City Regional Administration building. This particular place was also bombed by the Russian side. I'll just get aside for the benefit of our viewers to have a greater understanding. This building, particularly that you see behind me, it was bombed and at least 34 people had lost their lives. Another 37 were injured. Unfortunately, the governor for Mykolaiv, the Mykolaiv region governor, had overslept that very day last year, and he was not working at the time when this Russian cruise missile strike had taken place. What you see behind me is destruction. What you see on those visuals that you see on the screen, they are a depiction of the destruction that was caused by the missile strike. The Russian side, of course, had said that this building was being used as a military infrastructure building, a claim that was rebutted by the Ukrainian emergency services. Alison?
Now, we saw US President Joe Biden visit Kiev a couple of days ago in that surprise visit. Was this visit a big boost to the morale of the soldiers?
Well, absolutely it was. It was indeed a big morale booster for Ukrainian armed forces, and not just armed forces, for the people of Ukraine, because they believe that their biggest ally, or one of the biggest superpowers in the world, is standing with them and has reiterated to stand with them irrespective of the circumstances. We've seen that as the temperature recedes, as spring comes in, as the snow melts, the Ukrainian side are looking at a renewed offensive from the Russian side sometime in the mid of April. And the reason they're stocking up more and more armory and weapons, they've been appealing to the world as well. So amidst that, the visit by US President Joe Biden was very significant, and it was definitely a moral booster. It was the first visit by any US president to Kyiv since 2008, the last visit being done by the then US President George W. Bush in 2008. So 1.5 decades later, we're seeing a visit by US President, that too to Kyiv in such circumstances that is beyond just optics. It gives this reiteration to commitment and something to be jubilant about to the Ukrainian side. Alison?
Anas, thank you very much for bringing us all the latest from Mykolaiv. WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.